Hi, I want to record this real quick. We had a lot of rain, and I've said this before, when the rain comes, people get sick. And I started getting a really bad headache. It felt like bee stings. You know, I've had this feeling before in my third eye, I guess. It's the food chain. And so the food chain is bringing the rains and the storms and the bad weather and nature disasters. And I got dosed by my ex, unfortunately, in 2017, I think. We had recorded a podcast on microdosing with magic mushrooms. And microdosing is very different than taking a bunch of mushrooms, things like that. People are making tinctures and having good benefits from it. So anyway, it was a good podcast. And we can't hear it right now, but it was on Vimeo. And then the next day, he wanted to do a tea ceremony with me, and he had never done that. We did mushroom ceremonies, but nothing was real potent back in the day. So anyway, I died for a good 3 hours probably. I was fighting for my life, and I was a shelf. I was on this shelf fighting for my life, and it was like water, a waterfall, but like a tree, like, you know, the knot of the tree. You know, I look at that, it was like it had this shelf you were going to go over, and I was fighting to not go over it for 3 hours. When I woke up, we were both just sitting there in the same position, right? I saw how also, maybe prior to that or after that, I was put on a plateau where I was disconnected from my past and my future. I literally was on this shelf. And it was the scariest feeling in the world. And I immediately was taken off, or other information filled in. I don't absorb this. When you have bad things that are happening, don't absorb it. Just get out right away. It's like pixels. We're like pixels of starlight. And so the storm brought on this area being disconnected from the past, present, future. You're in the present. I was in extreme now. We don't want to be disconnected from our past and our future. You don't want to.
Karen Payne and Mr. Rotundo, customer waiting on the showroom floor.
You don't want to have trauma from the past or the future either. So the rains and the food chain brought on. And we're fighting for this area, and it's like bees. It's like, feels like when you really get into it, like bee stings can feel real prevalent in you. And we're different tongues, so it's back here in this area. I've had that happen intensely after eating at Costco, and I had major like bee stinging. Every time I try to eat, they'd come in. It's like, fuck, this hurts. You know, try to just drink a quick diet soda or something. Even eating vegan. For 2 weeks, that fucking thing lasted. And I know the kids were affected by it too. They didn't act like it, but I know they were. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I did take some extra strength Tylenol, and I knocked my fever down. I felt like I was going to fucking pass out. But you're not. You can't. You just can't. You know, you're like tortured. So I took some extra strength Tylenol, and it broke my fever yesterday. And then today, too, I took 4. I've taken 4 so far. So don't be afraid to take over-the-counter stuff and do that. Get rid of your headache or whatever it is, fever. But that's where we need to bring in our starlight and fix this area. All right, peace out.